Every animal rescuer's worst nightmare is waking up to the smell of smoke, the heat, the crackle of the fire, and the soul-wrenching sound of your animals crying out in fear and pain. In those terrifying moments, everything you've worked so hard to protect is suddenly a grave danger. The fear and the helplessness, it must stay with you forever, if you're lucky enough to make it out. Hello and welcome to Cat Life 24/7. This is a very difficult video to make as we are traumatized again by the unthinkable tragedy at an animal rescue. Sadly, friends, this happens far too often, and we're starting to wonder if evil humans are behind some of these tragedies. In this video, we'll learn about Chris and HappyCat. We'll look at the location and all the evidence available. We'll look at the top 5, yes, 5, possibly more, suspects in the fire and their possible motives. And we'll look at the many ways that all of us must protect our own animal kingdoms from evil arsonists or pure bad luck. For 2 decades, the HappyCat Sanctuary in Medford, Long Island, New York, was a beacon of hope for over 300 rescued cats. After losing his son in 2006, founder Chris Arsenault said that he found solace in rescuing the cats. "They became my family," he would state proudly. But on March 31st of 2025, an incredible tragedy struck. A fire engulfed the sanctuary, claiming the lives of Christopher and at least 100 cats. Authorities are investigating the fire, but the evidence so far seems to point to it starting indoors. HappyCat was being harassed by numerous evildoers in the community, and Chris was actually suing 2 of the women for their constant harassment. Everybody has haters, my friends. Please be very careful. One community member said of Christopher's dedication was unparalleled. This loss is immeasurable. Knowing how the people that worked with Chris felt about him, it's no surprise to hear that he was running back and forth in and out of the burning house trying to save as many of the cats as possible. We must salute this hero. HappyCat Sanctuary, founded in 2006 by Christopher Arsenault in Medford, emerged from personal tragedy into a beacon of hope for felines in need. After the heartbreaking loss of his 24-year-old son, Eric, in a motorcycle accident, Arsenault discovered solace and purpose in rescuing a colony of 30 sick kittens. This act of compassion ignited his mission to provide a safe haven for cats subjected to abuse, neglect, and abandonment. Transitioning from his career as a train conductor, Chris dedicated himself full-time to the sanctuary. He transformed his entire property into a feline oasis, featuring indoor and outdoor shelters equipped with beds, climbing structures, hammocks, and ample space for roaming. The sanctuary prioritized medical care, proper nutrition, and a nurturing environment, ensuring each cat experienced the quality of life that they deserved. Over the years, HappyCat Sanctuary became a cornerstone of the community, rescuing thousands of cats from dire situations, including hoarding cases and those targeted for abuse. The sanctuary also played a pivotal role in reducing feral cat population through trap-neuter return programs, and they facilitated hundreds and hundreds of adoptions, connecting cats with loving homes. HappyCat Sanctuary was also set up with that program where people can work off their community service hours that were ordered by a judge for traffic violations or small crimes. They could work off their community service hours at the sanctuary, actually helping out with the cats and whatnot. And I know that that was a really popular program. But some in Chris's area and in his neighborhood didn't like the idea of him having a cat sanctuary in their pretty little neighborhood. In fact, Chris had been having trouble with these neighbors in his area for years, going back to when he tried to purchase property in the neighborhood. I think the next door plot to expand the sanctuary, they actually blocked him somehow through the city and made it so that he wasn't able to purchase additional land in their neighborhood to expand. They have also been known to been caught snooping around the outer perimeter of the sanctuary. There have been holes cut in the fence. There has been a lot of bad mouthing, and it's no surprise that there were reports that the neighbors didn't seem to help much or care much when the fire was going on. Then, of course, you have the people outside the neighborhood, who he referred to often in his videos, and who had a dedicated Facebook page harassing and bashing Chris. Clearly, their claims were unfounded, as they did not allow for comments on their page, and no legal charges having to do with animal welfare have been brought against HappyCat. These horrible women were bold enough to send people into HappyCat Sanctuary just recently, in the few weeks prior to the fire, in order to tour the grounds. They were posing as adopters who wanted to supposedly adopt a cat so that they could get on his property and spy on the sanctuary. They were probably trying to take secret pictures and possibly set in motion the fire. It raises chilling questions. Would somebody have sabotaged the rescue from the inside? Experts agree it's entirely possible, and they say most convicted arsonists claim that they did not intend to kill anybody, that they just wanted to prove a point. In recent weeks, Chris had gotten tired of the harassment and started calling these women out in his videos. He was calling them the losers that they are and asking them to seek mental help, since everybody knows that they sure do need it in order to be harassing a cat sanctuary that's doing so much good for the community and for the animals. Another person outside the neighborhood that gave HappyCat and Chris trouble was a woman locally, another woman, a third, who had harassed them years ago and had come out of the woodwork every so often. You can look on the HappyCat Facebook page and go back and look through videos in the last little while, and you'll find them. And everybody knows who they are. The whole city basically knows about them and knows that they are harassers, and that's why Chris is trying to sue them, and that's why they're running and hiding. I can only imagine, maybe they didn't do anything particularly themselves, but they could have influenced somebody either inadvertently or inadvertently, not even known it, or helped spread bad information to somebody that did act. So they can have their fire investigation and they can sweep it under the rug, but everybody knows that that's more than enough suspects for this to be highly suspicious and most likely not an accident. I mean, it's possible, like any situation, that uh, there was an outlet that was overloaded or something, and it's possible that it was just a complete accident. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but there was a fire or close to a fire in Happy Cat Sanctuary in 2019. And luckily, Chris was able to extinguish that or prevent it from getting worse than just some smoke. But they had to replace a lot of equipment, and there had to be some rewiring and things that needed to be done in order to secure the facility. So I would be interested to know if anything from that situation might have had to do, with this one as well. But I'm leaning towards it not being an accident. and I think most other people agree. It's no coincidence, friends. I mean, yeah, we know how this stuff works with psychopaths. That's called a motive, my friends, and people like these women will stop at nothing to prove their point and make sure that they come out on top no matter what. Karens is one of the terms we use for them, demons is another. Please believe that no one is safe from these people, so please, friends, make peace, not war. But the truth is, friends, sometimes you just gotta fight back. Just be careful of doing so. And, you know, no matter what, if you're in a situation like this, you've got to think about the possibilities of evil people. And so please just walk away, don't cause problems, and don't make it worse. Because with just a simple 30-second hidden tampering of an electrical outlet, a loosened propane fitting, or a deliberately placed slow-burning device can cause a fire to erupt long after the culprit is gone, and their point would be made, and there would be little evidence to prove that it was them that did it. In the case of HappyCat, with power sources and heating units near where the fire started, the theory isn't just possible, but it's terrifyingly plausible. For someone seeking revenge, it would have been the perfect crime, and that wonderful man and those beautiful cats sadly paid the price. Knowing he needed to get his cats out of there as soon as possible, in 2024, the sanctuary announced plans to relocate to a 30-acre farm in upstate New York, aiming to expand and enhance its facilities to better serve its feline residents. They had already begun moving animals there and getting new barns and structures set up. And the people responsible for this knew that that was happening. So instead of just leaving well enough alone and letting them move up and continue on with their life, we can only hope that HappyCat gets enough support that they are still able to continue and move forward with the move and expand the facilities. Cat Life 24/7 will work to spread awareness about their needs, and I personally would love to move my entire Cat Life 24/7 operations and store to the area and help them fulfill Chris's dreams. I had planned on reaching out to Chris numerous times and about the possibility of me coming out to the area and helping him. But, we always think there's more time, friends. So if there's anything you want to do or you need to get done for your animals, just don't wait, We never know what tomorrow is going to bring and if tomorrow will come. So please don't procrastinate and don't wait if you've got action to take. The devastating fire that claimed the life of Chris and over 100 cats is simply a profound loss to the animal rescue community, not only locally but globally. His unwavering dedication and compassionate legacy will continue to inspire efforts to protect and care for vulnerable animals. Cat Life 24/7 will be dedicating a section of our cat memorial to Christopher and the cats who perished. Please visit their website, the GoFundMe, or their Facebook page to pay tribute and learn how you can help. We will have those links in the video descriptions. Friends, fires are one of the most devastating threats to animals in the home, especially in multi-pet or rescue environments, as a single spark can turn into tragedy within minutes. That's why fire prevention is not just important, it's essential. Every rescuer or home should be equipped with multiple smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors and alarms, multiple fire extinguishers, possible fire suppressant devices, and a solid escape plan. Products like fire-resistant pet beds, outlet covers, and automatic shutoff devices for heaters or kitchen appliances can certainly save lives. It's also a good idea to place pet alert window decals for first responders and to consider using smart smoke detectors that send alerts directly to your phone. Fire sprinkler systems can be affordable and life-saving, especially in homes with multiple pets. A basic system for existing home usually costs $2 to $7 per square foot, while new construction can be as low as $1 to $2 per square foot. For smaller budgets, localized or standalone options for kitchens and key areas range from $300 to $1,500. However, many traditional fire suppressants, especially chemical-based extinguishers and aerosols, can be toxic to animals, potentially causing respiratory distress or poisoning. So always look for pet-safe fire safety products and avoid suppressants that contain ammonium phosphate or potassium biocarbonate, which are harmful if inhaled or ingested by animals. I can tell you one thing, friends. A fire is about the worst thing that can happen to a person at home. We've got to be prepared. You've got to have a couple of stacks of cat carriers in a couple locations in the house. You've got to have some fire blankets. You've got to have some oxygen masks for yourself and for your cats. You've got to have an escape plan, 2 different escape routes in the house. You've got to practice with your cats and make sure that all of your cats are tame so that you can handle them in case of emergency. You've got to research and find out what types of fire extinguishers are used for what types of fires so that you don't make a fire worse by accident. And you want to make sure that you have fire suppressant units in your furnace room or your water heater room where the gas is. You just want to remember, friends, that fire spreads fast. You might only have a few seconds to decide in what order you're going to call 911, save your cats, try and fight the fire. And so just think this through, do some research, make a plan, and practice your plan. You might just survive a tragedy one day for it. It's just a lot of research. And my idea is, even if just one person adds more smoke detectors from watching this video, or one person installs a sprinkler system in their sanctuary, then my mission would be a success, and Chris would be able to save lives after he's gone for years and years. Every time somebody upgrades their system, they can say that their sanctuary is a safer place thanks to Chris Arsenault. And that just means something to me. I can't have his death being in vain, but if all of us try and be safer and it saves lives, then that just adds to the legacy of the man that I like to call the Long Island legend. Please consider investing in all of these products and systems for your facilities and your home, as none of us want to even imagine what it would be like to go through what Chris has gone through in those final moments. So please be careful, my friends. There are some horrible people and just some bad luck in the world. If you have any information about the fire, please contact local authorities. Let's honor Chris's legacy by supporting animal rescues and ensuring the safety of vulnerable animals. He will never be forgotten. So hug your kitties extra tight tonight, my friends, and be grateful for all you have, and do everything you can to protect it. Meow out.